Walimwes, I met this guy in a funeral. Imagine. I mean, that should have been a red flag, but as usual, women, most of us don't see red flags. Typical nice Kenyan man. If only I knew. Let me tell you, by the way, this story I'm going to tell you guys is like a movie. You might not even believe it. Have you ever been character developed? As in, this is super character development from a man. Stay tuned. Walimwes, Saseni, what's up? I'm also Uduto. This is Barbara Cynthia Amondi, and this is the Not Done Yet podcast. So, girl meets boy, but not next door, in a funeral. So boy was there with a friend of mine. So she introduces me to boy. And boy, yes, we'll call him boy. Boy is really nice to me. You know, we talk, he's a gentleman. I really liked him. I was like, he's a nice guy. So after the funeral, we exchanged contacts and we started chatting online. And then we decided to meet up for a date. So I went for the date. So on the first date, which should have been a big red flag, I paid the bill. So this guy tells me he's in between jobs. So he's not really financially stable, but he would just still like to meet me. And in my head, I was like, you know, as a good Christian woman that I am, I told myself, you know what? You know, people lose jobs every day. Today you have a job, kesho hauna job. So it is not really a big deal. So I will pay the bill. So we met up. Now, that first date should have also been a huge red flag, but I'd missed it. So guy starts telling me a story. Just to go back a bit, I told the guy that I have a daughter. I don't hide the fact that I have a daughter or now children. So I told guy I have a daughter. Then we were like, oh yeah, that's nice because I also have a daughter. I was so excited. I was like, no, this is the right person because he has a daughter, I have a daughter, and we can just start our family that right then. So dude tells me when he was in college in Uganda, he made a girl pregnant. So this girl comes from Rwanda or something like that. So this girl went home with her baby to Rwanda. So some months later, when the girl had given birth, the child was brought to him. The child was brought to him when the baby was 6 months old. So the baby was brought to Kisumu airport. He was called and he went to the airport and he picked the child. They brought the child with a stroller only. I mean, I should have seen it, but I didn't see it. The child was brought with a stroller only from Rwanda to Kisumu. So yeah, he took the baby home to his mom. So this baby stayed with his mom. So it was such a story that you empathize and say, oh my God, a man was left with a baby, what. So I empathized and was like, okay, I think me and this guy will make it work because I also have a child. So we decided to start dating with this guy.
This episode of Not Done Yet KE has been brought to you by Mkubwa Beauty Parlour.
As I started dating this guy, I find out that, actually he tells me he was married, but the wife left. So I really wondered and asked him, why did your wife leave? And he couldn't just give me a straight answer. Oh, that should have been a red flag. He couldn't just give me a straight answer. He kept blabbering about, and I was like, okay. So he gave me a story that the wife's parents came for her at about 1 a.m. one day. And you know, it's so funny because I told him as a joke that, for someone's parent to come for them at 1 a.m., it must have meant that she was really suffering in that relationship. And then he just waved it off. I wish I knew how right I was. So now we started dating with the guy. And in a short span, he had introduced me to his mom, he had introduced me to his brothers, and, you know, I felt like, this is a straightforward person. I already know his family and stuff like that. So when he asked me to move in, I did not hesitate. What? Hey, me, Barbie, I went home and packed my things. I was just excited. I was like, oh my God, I might be getting married. I was even telling my friends, you guys, I might actually be getting married sometime soon. So I took my things, most of my things, and moved to his place. Now, the most amazing thing was, because of baking, I have these baking things that I use. So my mom was like, no, don't go with the baking things to that house. You just go. So I left with my things. So I was still baking. So I used to go home and bake and then come to our house in the evening. So the funny thing is, so this whole time, dude had already told me him is not working. He's in between jobs. So he kept telling me like, there's a job that is coming. There's this project that is coming. And yet he made me feel like there was actually something that was coming and he was going to get some really, really good money. So I was like, hi, I'm being a Proverbs 31 woman. I'm taking care of him while he's not able to take care of himself. So when the money comes, we'll be able to take good care of our family. Now, the other funny bit was, dude wasn't staying with his daughter. The daughter was staying at his mom's. So I kept wondering, how come the daughter was staying at his mom's place and not with him? That was another red flag. Girls, by the way, these red flags are always there. It's just that we decide to ignore them, but red flags are there.
This episode of Not Done Yet KE has been brought to you by Barbie Cakes Ksm.
So then I moved in, we started staying together. I was taking care of all bills. All bills here means all the food we were eating, basically paying Zuku, paying what. In fact, that is the time I realized that I could actually have my own place because I was paying for everything. The only thing that I wasn't paying for was rent. So one time, I asked dude, like, I want Jordana to come for a sleepover, so can your daughter come for a sleepover? Let's call her Gali. So it was really difficult to get Gali to come for a sleepover. And I kept wondering why it was an issue because, that is his daughter. Because if we're going to make a family here, then daughter is going to come and stay with us. That was the only way. So finally, Gali comes for a sleepover. And the next day, early in the morning, his brother comes for Gali in the house and goes with her. So I was wondering, so I kept asking him, why are they taking Gali away from us? We can spend time with her over the weekends and stuff like that. And he couldn't just give me an answer. So you know what Proverbs 31 woman did? So anytime I was shopping for Jordana, I shopped for Gali. When the school terms opened, I bought Gali shoes, I bought Gali, snacks for school and those so many little things. Basically everything I bought my daughter, I bought her. And at this point, because she had interacted with my daughter even used to call her sister because she knew that this is her sister. Now, another red flag I can say, when you're a single mom and you meet a dude and it's just all over like he wants to just be the darling of your baby, that should be a huge red flag because it takes time for guys to get to know each other to the point that, this guy, my daughter adored this guy because he was so nice to my daughter. He used to treat her so well. And I think that is one of the things that made me ignore a lot of things because I was like, he has such a really, really good relationship with my daughter. So why not, So now, there's this one time, Walimwes, I went to see the mom in the office because it had been a while since we had seen each other and we used to catch up. We became friends. So I went to see mom in the office. So while I'm talking to mom, I asked her, the shoes that I bought Gali, did they fit her? And the mom goes like, I'm not sure because I don't stay with her. I'll ask her mom. Ask her mom? What do you mean ask her mom? Walimwes, thank you so much for listening to the Not Done Yet podcast. And please follow us on all our social. We are Not Done Yet KE. And yes, by the way, we are not done yet.